speaking your truth is the most powerful tool we all have. And I'm especially proud and inspired by all the women who have felt strong enough and empowered enough to speak up and share their personal stories.
And welcome to Counsel of the Day with Shanrae, and I am Shanrae. And woo, I can tell you time is passing by so quickly. Let me take this ticker off. Time is passing by so fast. Oh my goodness. We are on week 3 already. Week 3 of speaking your truth. And this week's subtopic is speaking your truth isn't always the truth. All right, so we're going to continue on from last week. Last Thursday, we were talking about selective memory and when it comes to truth, or if you have selective memory with amnesia. This week, we're going to bring it back around to it's not selective memory, but this is speaking your truth isn't always the truth. And so we're going to be talking about lying on this evening. Give me 1 minute, though. It's so good to have you all on. Let me take this ticker off for a minute and then I'm going to move on. I have to share. I got to share as well. And then we're going to move it right along. Let me share this really quickly. I have so many different platforms, so I'm trying to stay organized and try to share as I go with certain things. And then we're going to move this along. But I am Shanrae. Again, I give back and I do this on a quarterly basis. I'm so happy to see you all. Let me get on Facebook. This is an open forum. So if you have any questions, if you have any life scenarios, if you have any if you just want to add to it, this is an open forum. I will pause, I will stop, and I will, hey, Deirdre, how are you? So good to see you. And again, like I said, this is an open forum. So we're here. This is what I do. I give, hi, Kasha. This is my give back. I do this 4 times a year. I do it in a 3-month quarter. So, and I do it for the entire month. Like this is the first quarter of 2022. This month of February, every Tuesday and Thursday evening from 9 p.m. to 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, I speak about a topic for the month. And again, this month's topic is speaking your truth. Now, this week we're going to be talking about speaking your truth isn't always the truth. So we're going to go on and get started. And let me add this to the stream. Let me put myself down here. And I am a degree counselor, so I like to give y'all a little bit of information on me. Hey, CJ, it's so good to see you. So good to see you this evening. All right, and let me do this a side by side really quickly. Okay, so I'm a degree counselor, and I've acquired a dual BS degree in psychology and organizational management. Let me slide over this way. Um, um, at Ashford University. So my great passion is bringing healing to people who have been through a traumatic or stressful experience, which we all have. We all have. But when human beings experience trauma or severe life stresses, it's not uncommon for our lives to kind of unravel. All right, and I help, my clients are children, adults, and families. And I help them try to find healthy perceptions of themselves and to strengthen their relationships so they can know themselves as peaceful, complete, and whole and safe. So that's a little bit of my bio. Let's move on to my website disclaimer because this 30 minutes goes by very quickly. I'm going to open this so you can read along. All right, please be aware that due to the nature of the technology that I'm using, there can be no assurance of confidentiality when using this online service. It should also be noted that due to changes in policies that all replies are to be used as advisory and informational only and will not constitute an official determination. Information provided by myself or any other counselor or counseling services are subject to the limitations of current and available material, but the final responsibility for successfully achieving a goal rests with you, the individual. Information online is designed to be helpful. However, this information does change frequently, and it is recommended that you, the individual, will consult another physician, a specialist, or a religious leader to aid in your overall behavioral wellness. I'm going to move this along. I'm a Christian counselor, and I say this every time I come on. So my scripture for the month is John chapter 8, verses 32 from the English Standard version of the Bible. And it says, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free or make you free. All right. So as I said, and I'm going to magnify this week's topic, well, the month's topic is speaking your truth, but this week's subtopic is truth. Your truth, speaking your truth isn't always the truth, and that's not for everyone. That's for certain people, and we're going to be breaking some things down tonight. All right, so let's go over these definitions. The definition that I've chosen for truth, it says that which is true, and let me do side by side. Hey Tamela, how are you? So that which is true, or in accordance with fact or reality. Okay, our other definition that I'm using is perspective, which is a view or a prospect. The third thing that I wanted to define this evening is a lie. And that definition the two that I've chosen to define for lie is to make an untrue statement with intent to deceive, or number two, to create a false, misleading impression. All right, so let's move this on. I've been going over this. Let me magnify this a little bit. All right. So our key points for this evening, it says we're going to be talking about mythomania and pseudologia, fantasia. Okay, and we're going to break this down, but our key points tonight is talking about those two things. Number two is what mental illness is associated with lying, because there is a mental illness that is associated with lying. Hey, Luana, how are you? Pathological liars versus compulsive liars, which there is a difference between the two, and the treatment options for a compulsive or a pathological liar, and of course our final thoughts. So let's move this along. I'm gonna just keep this magnified like this for tonight. All right, I've been telling y'all the definition of speaking your truth all month long, and tonight is not going to be any different. So, speaking your truth, this derived from Oprah Winfrey. And Oprah Winfrey was saying what she meant by speaking your truth is typically when someone is sharing their perspective, telling their story, or opening up about their experiences. And the important part of speaking a personal truth that some people do miss, she said, is realizing that it also means listening to other people's truth. Okay, so let's move this along. And if there are any questions as we go along, again, I will pause. I will try to answer your questions to the best of my knowledge. And if I can't, then I will find an answer for you. Or if you want to give a life scenario, I will pause and I will make highlight of that. All right. So the definition of mythomania and pseudologio fantastica is pathological lying. All right, and which is also known as these two things. And this is a mental disorder, which is which the person habitually or compulsively lies. And the reason for such lies often serve no obvious purpose other than to paint oneself as a hero or a victim, depending on whatever circumstances that they're in. All right, so let's move this along. And we have all, this is nothing new. We've all experienced unfortunately being around either a compulsive liar or a pathological liar. And I know it's not a good feeling when you find out that someone has lied to you. It's also not a good feeling when you lie, if you lie about something to cover something up. But we're going to break the differences down on tonight about compulsive lying and pathological lying. All right, so let's go, because this 30 minutes goes by so quick. All right, and so here we go. Pathological liars. A liar lies incessantly to get their way. And they do this. A pathological liar does this with little awareness. So it is viewed, a pathological liar or pathologically lying. Hey Cole, how you doing? Is viewed as a coping mechanism, which is developed in early childhood and is often associated with some other type of mental health disorder, like an antisocial personality disorder. It could be that they lie to avoid something traumatic that has happened in their past lives, such as abuse. Or the condition may be genetic. And lying, pathological or compulsive lying is a genetic thing. I'm going to close this down just a little bit because I need to see comments. Corey, it's so good to see you over there in YouTube. Hey, Corey. Okay, so when it comes to pathological liars, it is observed that people who have an antisocial personality disorder and narcissistic personality disorder indulges in lying. So a pathological liar is often goal oriented, which means that they're focused on this lie, and they're going to tell this lie to get their way. All right, so they have very little regard or respect for the rights and feelings of other people. Like I said a little bit earlier, all of us all of us have been in contact with a pathological or a compulsive liar, and we all know that that doesn't make you feel good at all when you know somebody, when you find out, or when you know right away that somebody is lying to you. That is such a bad feeling. Or it's a bad feeling too when you know that you're lying, when you have lied about something, but it all goes down to you trying to get your own way. You're trying to get your own way with this lie. Okay, so they're often considered manipulative and cunning. Now I'm talking about a pathological liar right now. They're considered manipulative and cunning. They create extravagant stories that may be maintained or tweaked over time, because the story is either going to balloon or it's going to deflate. Whatever circumstances that they're in, the story is gonna try to fit whatever they want at that time. All right, so they often believe that a lot of times these pathological liars, they often believe their own lies, unfortunately, or have a weak grip on reality, which we all know. Again, if you have a weak grip on reality, which means that you living in your own head, you're in a fantasy world, that means that you're dealing with, there is a mental illness that's being experienced at the time. Unlike the compulsive liar, a pathological liar are near impossible to catch in the act. Now that's dangerous. When somebody lies that well till it's hard to catch them in the act of lying. All right. So these people are excellent liars because they lie constantly and they make stories up unnecessarily so. And they do it very frequently. So it becomes extremely difficult to distinguish the lie or the truth from the false statements. And this is a pathological liar, okay? So pathological liars know how to be confident while they're lying, and they use their pathological lying trait as a defense mechanism. Like for instance, they fix their gaze. They're staring you straight in the eye when they lying to you, rather than looking away. So here are some of the symptoms that pathological liars they use. Number one, they lie to gain something. Number two, they exaggerate things. Okay. Number three, they keep on changing their stories. Number four, they live in a false sense of reality. Okay. And if they're confronted, they act defensive and they never admit that they are liars. And lastly, they hold no value to truth at all. Now this is scary. A pathological liar, when they hold no value to the truth at all, their value is more in lies and deceit. Okay? So this is the traits of a pathological liar. Those what I just read. Now let's move on to a compulsive liar. And again, remember, our topic for this month is speaking your truth. Now, you are empowered And we talked about that the first week, the first week, about how important it is for you to speak your truth. But make sure that when you speak your truth is the truth. Okay, it's not a lie. Okay, we do understand that certain things happen, perceptions, how you see things and stuff like that. But speaking your truth and maybe missing some of the details, and then lying, are two separate animals, two separate things. Okay, so let's move to compulsive liars. And a compulsive liar is a liar who lies out of habit. And I'm going to open this up just a little bit, and then I'm going to close it again. All right, a compulsive liar lies out of habit. Is there anyone here that's on watching this evening? Can you all share a scenario if you can? If it's too personal, please don't do it. But can you share a scenario maybe where you have dealt with a pathological liar? Okay, and I'm going to move on into compulsive liar. Now, remember, a pathological liar is someone that can look you straight in the eye and lie to you. They're very intentional with what they're doing. They do it so much and so well until they believe their own lies. That's the difference between a pathological liar, which is a very dangerous. That's a very dangerous person to be around when you can't trust anything that they say at all. Okay. All right, let's move over into compulsive lying. I'm gonna make this a little smaller. Okay. And I'm gonna do it like this. All right, so a compulsive liar. Here we go. Compulsive lying is usually thought to develop in early childhood as well. Now, again, let's go back to the first week when I was talking about Freud, Sigmund Freud's Cole. Let me pause here for a minute. Cole says Todrick is doing it on Celebrity Big Brother. You know what, Cole? And I have never watched that show, Celebrity Big Brother, but I don't know if y'all realize these reality shows, they seek out people who are liars and scandalous, and they just bring drama with them so they can get the ratings. So I'm glad that you noticed this in this show that you're watching, Celebrity Big Brother, Todrick, and you said he's doing this, doing that on per. All right. Well, let's see how this work out for Todrick then. Okay. All right. So, compulsive lying is usually thought to develop in early childhood due to being placed in an environment where lying was necessary and routine. So, a lot of them find it easy to avoid confrontations with truth. Hence, they stick to lying. Okay, now lying ain't good. I mean, it's just not good at all. It just isn't. All right, compulsive liars, they bend the truth about everything, large or small. And for a compulsive liar, telling the truth is very awkward and uncomfortable, while lying feels right and correct to them. It's still dangerous. If you feel more comfortable lying than telling the truth, wow. Okay, that's not healthy at all. All right, so a lot of them find it easy to avoid confrontations with truth. Hence, they stick to lying once again. Compulsive liars may or may not experience a mental disorder. That's the difference between a pathological and a compulsive liar. They may or they may not experience a mental disorder. Let's see who's on. All right. Usually, it is observed that people with attention deficit hyperintensity disorder, ADHD, people with ADHD, people who are bipolar, people and borderline personality disorders, they resort to lying compulsively. Now, these three different two out of the three are considered mental deficiencies. ADHD, they have to put it, it's not the exact same spectrum, but ADHD, again, that attention deficit disorder, hyperactive disorder, that's something a little bit different, and it goes around with your memory. That's with your memory, your attention span and your memory. But unfortunately, there has been a lot of findings that people with ADHD, more so than ADD. ADD is without the hypertension. You know, the ADD is the person, they're more relaxed, they're more calm. It actually seems like they take a long time to do certain things. That person versus the person with ADHD, they can't sit down. They're always moving around. CJ said bipolar and schizophrenia. Yes, which that's under the same umbrella with bipolar and schizophrenia. Slight differences, and you're right, they are compulsive liars. It says compulsive liars are not overly manipulative and cunning. For example, like pathological liars, rather they simply lie out of habit rather than intention. So again, a pathological liar lies out of intent, that they're strategic with their lies. They believe their own lies. Whereas a compulsive liar, they're just doing it out of habit. They do it, and let me keep going because I don't want to speak up too soon about what I'm wanting to read here. So compulsive liars, they're not overly manipulative and cunning. They're not. They just lying out of habit, which is an automatic response that is hard to break and one that takes its toll on relationships. And again, it goes back to like I was saying earlier, all of us have experienced being around someone who has lied to us, whether they are a pathological liar or a compulsive liar. And that is a dangerous type of relationship to have with somebody when you cannot trust their word or trust what they're saying. Okay. And it makes you feel bad. It really does in so many different ways. Number one, first of all, it makes me feel like, okay, this person thinks that they're so smart so they can lie to me and I'll believe it. You know, like playing me for a fool or a boodle or whatever, like they're more intelligent or whatever like that. And then secondly, if you're in a close relationship with someone who's a compulsive or pathological liar, it's again, you can't, that's a dangerous situation to be in. You cannot trust or you don't feel safe with that person because 9 times out of 10, whatever they say is going to be a lie. So, you know, it's like, I'm not going to waste my time with someone like that. That's something that they need to work through, you know, and that's why we're here. About which, again, when they speak their truth, is it the truth? Is it the truth? And you don't want, that's too much energy trying to figure out if somebody's telling the truth all the time. That's just a lot, you know. Okay. So compulsive liars lie because of several reasons. However, it may always be easy to find out if they're lying because their stories usually do not add up. Number two, the difference between a compulsive liar and a pathological liar is the pathological liar will look you dead in your eyes and lie to you. And they will convince you or they lie just so they can get their way. A compulsive liar, a lot of times, are not looking you in the eyes. They're looking away as they're making the story up, and then the details of the story is not adding up. But they lying because that's the normal thing for them to do. If you ask them, "Oh, did you go put gas in the car, hon?" "Yeah, I put gas in the car." Then the next morning you get up and go to work and your car's on E. And then you're like, "I gotta stop before I go to work and put gas in the car." And you said last night that you put gas in the car. I thought I did. Nope. Too much work. Too much work. Okay, and that was just an example. So they're also obvious and they display the classic lying behaviors, such as avoiding eye contact, breaking out in a sweat, and tripping over their words and rambling. That's the difference between a compulsive liar and a pathological liar. If anybody have ever seen, hey, hi, Aunt Judy, how are you? I don't know if anyone has ever seen the movie The Wedding Ringer, not The Wedding Singer, The Wedding Ringer, Ringer, with Kevin Hart. And if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's funny. But the example that I want to give is that in this movie, Kevin Hart, he played a great pathological liar. Okay, and it was coming across as a comedy, but everything he said was basically a lie. and he did it so convincingly, looking people square in the eye. And I mean, he got away with it and made a good living off of it. Okay. Good evening, Lady Purvis. How are you? So that's a good example right there of a pathological lie. If you've never seen the movie The Wedding Ringer, watch it. Kevin Hart played it. A perfect pathological liar. All right. So they often lie for no clear reason and sometimes for no real benefit. They make lies up more spontaneously and don't do much thinking and prefer to tell the sorts of lies that they think people want to hear. Again, insulting your intellect. That's why it's very dangerous to be around uh, any type of liar, whether they're pathological or compulsive. It is dangerous. And again, I feel insulted first and foremost because once again, it makes me feel like they think that they're so much smarter than me that we'll believe and that we won't find out that they're lying. Okay, so where we got that line up. They often lie for no clear reason and sometimes for no real benefits. They make lies up more spontaneously. Okay, and then they know the difference but they do know the difference between reality and lies. That's the difference between a compulsive liar and a pathological liar. A compulsive liar knows the difference between reality and lies, and they're more likely to admit to lying when they're confronted. And although this might not stop them from lying in the future, but if they are confronted, a compulsive liar will own up to the lie. I did lie or whatever, versus a pathological liar. And the jailhouses are full of pathological liars. The ones that got caught. They got caught and they in jail, and they went to jail for it. So let's move on to treatment options. I'm going to magnify this and then I'm going to size it back down. There are treatment options for compulsive or pathological liars. There are treatment options, and it's a blessing. And again, I'm a Christian counselor. It is a blessing when there's a treatment or a cure for something that someone might be experiencing. Okay. I think that the hardest thing is when there is no cure or there is no treatment for an ailment that someone may be going through or experiencing. And again, that's what I was saying before Cole gave his example. The first week I was talking about, and the second week I was talking about Sigmund Freud, and he talks about the dual lie, the dual truth. And he said when a child displays good character, and when you see a child that tells the truth, that the truth of the matter is they come from an environment, they come from parents or caregivers who have taught them that in both ways, by telling the truth in front of them and then by teaching them the importance of telling the truth. Cole said, so which liar lies for no reason? The girl I stayed with when I first got here would lie about stuff that didn't even stuff that didn't even matter. She told me she went to a friend's house for a couple of days, but actually went out of town. There was no reason to lie to me about that. I really didn't care or have a reason to even know where she was. Well, Cole, let me ask you something. Did her story even make sense to you when she told it to you? Was she looking you dead in the eyes when she was lying to you? Get back to me with that answer. And then I will pause and I will answer your question. Okay, so the treatment options, and let me open this up just a little bit. The treatment options here for a compulsive or a pathological liar. It says the success of the treatment does depend upon whether the person. Let me move on. The treatment options may include. She said it through a text. Oh my God! Let me go back. Okay, when she was writing the text, oh man, see, that's the bad thing about messaging and texting and stuff too, like that. But the good thing is you have proof of the lie. Okay, well, either way, you got written proof of the lie. Did the story make sense to you when she wrote the message to you, when she texted to you? Did it make sense? or did it was it just like random? Oh, I'm just staying at a friend's, well, how was it? How was it? And then when you found out the truth, how did you find out? Did you talk to her physically, or did you find out the truth again by seeing her on social media or somewhere, seeing her posting something? Because it's a little harder for me to tell you which type of liar she is, um, because of how it was done. So I need body language. I need to know about her body language. I need to know about proof. Cole said it could have made sense, but I didn't care. Okay, all right. Well, how did you find out? How did you find out that she was lying? Yeah, how did you find out? Okay, and then all right. So what the first treatment for a pathological or compulsive liar is psychotherapy. And psychotherapy is treatment of mental or emotional disorders or of a related bodily illness, something like that. The second strategy for this, for treatment for this, is repeated counseling. Continue to go to counseling. It is imperative to go to counseling. Go sit down and talk with a licensed or a degreed counselor. Go and invest in your mind for counseling. I'm looking for, it could have made some. Okay, Cole, I'm waiting on your response. Number 3 is antipsychotic medications, and they work. Antipsychotic medications work. They really do. So medicinal treatment works. And then family support goes a long way in overcoming this habit too, along with the treatment. I'm going to add a fifth one. I'm going to add accountability partners. And accountability partners, again, that comes in when it comes to counseling and treat that type of treatment. Group therapy, accountability partners, where you have to, you have accountability partner that will help you, that will call you on your BS. You lying. I call them, you lying, or you whatever. So can start all over again. Okay, I'm just gonna give this to you all. One of the strategies that will help a person that lies constantly is when you're telling a story or you're telling your truth. And if you know that you're starting to exaggerate, go back and say I'm lying. No, I'm lying. I'm lying. It's okay to say that. No, no, I'm lying. Let me go back and tell you what happened, and then start all over again. So this is one that I'm throwing out there to you. This is a strategy that works. And when I say the more that you do it, the more you break the habit of lying. So if you are in the middle of a conversation and you find yourself exaggerating, it's okay to pause and say, no, I'm lying. I'm lying. Let me go back and tell you what happened, what really happened, and then start all over again and start and tell the story as it really happened or as you witnessed it. Cole said, I found out randomly because I just happened to go on Friends near me on Facebook, and that child was on a whole nother step. Oh wow, that is so funny. Cole, did you confront her? Did you ask her? Did you say to her it was no need to lie? I don't. I'm really feeling hurt because you chose to lie and then tell the truth. I mean, either way, you were going away, and if if you told me the truth, I would have been like, yay. Either way, did you confront her about the lie, or and say, I saw, oh hey, I saw the pictures of you being out of town. You look like you had a good time. Is this did you say something like that? Because that's a form of accountability partner, and like I was just talking about. Okay, so that's it for this evening because it's been 33 minutes. I am going to move this along. Let me leave y'all with, and I'm gonna blow this up. Let me leave y'all with this, with my final thought. Okay, my final is really in and out, very simple. The success of the treatment of the treatment for compulsive liar, pathological lying, it depends on whether the person actually agrees that they are a compulsive liar or a pathological liar. So number one, the treatment of the success of the treatment depends on how truthful you're going to be. You have to, the truth, everything starts with you. It starts with you first. Are you willing to do you want to become a truth teller? Some people say it's more fun being a liar. Okay. Cole said no, I didn't tell her. And Cole, like you said, you don't care one way or the other. But one thing you didn't learn about your former roommate is that she is a liar. I need to be able to observe her a little bit more to tell you whether she's compulsive or you know what? Because she got caught, she's a compulsive liar. She wasn't strategic with it. She got caught. So that's more traits of being a compulsive liar because she had a trail. She left a trail behind her, whereas a pathological liar, they would have covered that all up some kind of a way. But it's more traits of her being a compulsive liar, which it still comes from childhood. She learned how to be a liar and as a child. For whatever reason, she learned how to be a liar as a child. To this day, she thinks I believe she was at Pat's house in in Jonesboro, all the while she was in Grant, South Carolina. Woo! You know what? Right. I'm so some things, some battles you have to choose. Some battles you're gonna say, you know what, it's not worth even saying anything. And I want to commend you. Thank you. Don't for not even escalating it. It's not worth it. Like you said, that was the past. She's your former roommate. It is what it is, and you have more peace now that you're not there because you don't have to deal with what always being on the edge, saying, "Oh, is she telling the truth or is she lying?" So you have peace now. And so, but it really sounds like she was more of a compulsive liar rather than a pathological liar. um that is so funny though. All right, so I do want to leave y'all with this, and I started out by saying it week one. Sigmund Freud or Freud, whichever way you want to say it, he is the father of ethics and integrity theological findings. He was the father of that. And his theory, he observed, one of his theories is the two-part truth. He says a child that lies, the truth is they come from an environment of lies. They've been around family members, caregivers, somebody that lies, and so they've learned that honestly, and that's why they're a liar. The second truth is that when you see a child that tells the truth, and if they show more integrity and more good character, the truth is because their environment where they came from, they come from an ethical, good character, integrous, truth-telling type of environment, regardless of the consequences of telling the truth or whatever. Because there's consequences to everything. Whether you lie, whether you tell the truth, it's good consequences, it's bad consequences. So Sigmund Freud talks about the two-part truths, and I just said that, and I'm going to say it again. Whether you've experienced being around a compulsive liar, whether you experience being around a pathological liar, either way, that both stem from childhood, from adolescence. They learned it some kind of a way from somebody, for whatever circumstances they grew up in. But there's treatment and there is restoration and there's hope. Just because you might have started out a liar, it don't mean that you have to stay a liar. Okay, there's treatment for everything. We talked about it, and we're going to move this along, and we're going to continue talking about this on Thursday. If you find yourself around someone that's a compulsive liar or a pathological liar, pathological liar will look you in your face. They're doing this intentionally. They will look you in your eyes and lie to you. A compulsive liar will look away. Their story's not going to make sense. They're going to get busted later on. That's a compulsive liar. That's someone they're not. It's just they're more habitual. They'll just readily say, oh, yeah, no, or yes when it comes to something. And then they'll dig themselves in the hole. But they will get caught. A compulsive liar will get caught. And a compulsive liar, when they're confronted, will own up to their lie. A pathological liar, that's a dangerous thing. They will never own up to their lie. A pathological liar will believe their own lies. So bringing this back around to speaking your truth. It is important to speak your truth. It is empowering to speak your truth and your experiences from your perspective. But it has to be the truth. If it's not the truth, then we're moving into these lying syndromes. And again, and if you find yourself where you lie out of habit, it's okay to sit down with a counselor, invest in it. Counselors, there's so many different counselors out there. I'm going to tell you that I'm a degree counselor. I'm going to tell you the difference very quickly between a degree and a licensed counselor. A licensed counselor, when you sit down with a lot of people will get with a degree counselor because a lot of things are not. When you go to a licensed counselor, everything is put up in the system. Everything is put up in the system. It's going to go through the state. Everything, and medically, you're going to have that on your record medically, that yes, that you're going to a licensed counselor, and everything is documented that way. It's more of a privacy thing when you go to a degree counselor such as myself. Now we keep our records. Everything is held up in the court of law. If you need all of your information and take it to a doctor or whatever like that, then you will have everything that you need. But it's more for privacy purposes, because you're not automatically up all of your information. You're not automatically put into the files or into the electronic database for going for treatment for your mental health. So that's the difference between degree, if you're going to with a degree counselor, and a licensed counselor. For privacy purposes, a lot of people go to degree counselors. A licensed counselor that's working for the state, everything is going to be in your medical file. Everything that way. So that's the difference. But treatment is the cure for any type of ailment, whether it's mental, emotional, physical, anything. Treatment is the thing that will help us overcome whatever it is we need to overcome. So we gave our final thoughts. Let me move this along. If there's a past counsel of the day, let me thank y'all. I'm sorry. All right, thank you so much for participating in Counsel of the Day with Shanrae February 2022 tonight. We are on week 3, part 1. This is moving quickly, and this is called Speaking Your Truth this week. Speaking your truth may not always be the truth. All right, and so if there is, and let me move this along, if there is a past, that's my website disclaimer. Let me open this for those that want to double check, those fellow counselors. This is where I did get all of my information and my findings. All right. If there is a past Counsel of the Day with Shanrae series that you missed or just want to rewatch, you can go to my YouTube channel at Shanrae Price, and then you can click on any of the past series. You can click it, watch it, like and subscribe and share. All right. And again, I am a professional one-on-one counselor. If you're interested in professional one-on-one counseling services, feel free to contact me via Facebook Messenger or at my at Shanrae Cherie Price, or my email, shanraecherieprice@gmail.com. I am a lifestyle strategist, and my aim is to aid you in your life's goals and your life's dreams. This has been awesome. Thank you all for joining tonight. I'll see you all at 9 p.m. on Thursday evening, and I'm going to hop off of here and get on Fanbase. Fanbase is kind of a newer platform, but I'm going to get on there and I'm going to continue talking about this on Fanbase. So if y'all are on Fanbase, or if you want to join Fanbase, hop on and go on and find me. I'll hit follow, and then I'll be in my chat room, and I'll be continuing to talk about this on tonight. Other than that, I'll see you Thursday. Good night, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the evening. Thank you. Bye bye.